and an important game for the Bills, I would think, Dan.
Well, the most important thing, aside from the weather, is the fact that the Bills have a chance to clinch their title tonight. And if they do that, then there'll be 2 in a row for them. The big thing about the weather, it's going to be windy, it's going to be snowing, it's going to be real cold down there, but this is Buffalo Bill weather, and that's all that's important. They have the #1 guys in passing, running, and receiving in the AFC. A lot of weapons on offense.
Now the Saints are at the other end, really. They're hanging by a slim thread, perhaps out of the playoff contention after today. They had a closed-door meeting after their shocking loss to Detroit last week. And now big move to this week, and John Fourcade gets the call at quarterback in place of Bobby Hebert. Do you agree with that move?
Well, I really do, and it's because the Saints have got to do something to salvage their season. Bobby Hebert is a quarterback that appears to have his confidence completely shot. So Jim Mora says his team is able to fight back from adversity. He's going to go with a new leader today, John Fourcade, who will get out of that pocket, run around a lot out there. He's going to be chased down by Bruce Smith quite a bit, but he still has an outstanding running back to give the ball to, Dalton Hilliard.
Moments ago, they had the sweepers out to clear the field of the snow. We have a tremendous wind-swept snow afternoon. Temperature is 27 degrees. The wind chill is 10 degrees, and the wind is gusting 25 miles per hour going from left to right as you see the game. So those are the conditions we have as we start this game, as the Buffalo Bills, 6-1 this year at home,
University games will hold their opening
go against the New Orleans Saints, who have had an up-and-down year. And these are brave fans, and even though, Dan, this is their first non-sellout in 17 games, 70,000 is plus here, is pretty good here in Western New York, and they'll brave the elements as they do all the time.
Well, and you see the John Deere Zamboni machine out there trying to get this snow off the field. That's an uphill battle for the guy running that machine all day long. Also, along the side of the field, a lot of snow has accumulated for about the last 2 weeks, and that snow there is so hard, they had difficulty removing it. They decided to just leave it there. And if a player runs into that, he's going to feel it, like running into a ton of bricks.
They expect a defensive battle today. Both teams are pretty good defensively, and especially with the weather conditions. It'll be tough for kickers, passers, and everyone perhaps except for people like Thurman Thomas and Dalton Hilliard.
And another thing it might affect are the guys that are snapping the ball on both teams in the shotgun formation. Look for the Saints not to go to the shotgun with Fourcade because of the fact that the wind is gusting up to 20 miles an hour.
Bills win the toss, and Martin Anderson will be kicking off, getting his left cleat in order. Ronnie Harmon and Don Beebe are back there.
Interesting decision on Buffalo's part to take the ball after winning the toss. With this wind, they might have been better off kicking off.
We'll know soon. Don Beebe will let the ball bounce, go over his head, and will down it in the end zone for a touchback.
Well, that was real good patience on Beattie's part, waiting for the ball to cross that goal line before he went down and downed it.
Jim Kelly, who's coming off an off game in the loss to Seattle on Monday night, still with 21 touchdown pass, only 11 interceptions. The offensive front, Will Wolford, Jim Richer, Ken Hull, Joe Devlin, and Howard Ballard. Pete Metzelars is a tight end. Thurman Thomas and Larry Kinnebrew, the running backs. Andre Reed and James Lofton, the wide receiver. First and 10 on the 20. After considerable shifting, Thurman Thomas. Buffalo going against the best rushing defense in the NFL, but they'll have to keep it on the ground anyway at times. This is the New Orleans Saints defensive group. Frank Warren, Jim Wilkes, and James Gethers, the front three. Outstanding linebackers, maybe the best in the league. Ricky Jackson, Sam Mills, Vaughn Johnson, and their pass rusher specialist, Pat Swilling. Robert Massey and Toy Cook are the cornerbacks. Gene Atkins and Dave Lamer the corners, and we'll see a lot of Brett Maxey and Milton Mack. Second down and 10. Kelly up the middle, and the pass is picked off. It was a fumble, and it was picked off by Pat Swilling.
Intercepted.
In and out of the hands of Keith McKellar, the tight end, and the Saints catch a big break early.
Pass over the middle to Metzelars. McKellar rather, number 84, and this is just pure bad luck. Kelly puts the ball perfectly on his shoulder. The ball bounces right in the hands of Swilling, and the Saints get the first break of the day, and a big one for a team that needs it.
They sure do. 6 and 7 trying to get to 500, and the first interception of the 12-yard line of the Bills. Dalton Hilliard pushes forward and gets inside the 10-yard line.
Bentley made the stop.
Ray Bentley and Darrell Talley make the tackle for the Buffalo Bills.
It'll be 2nd and 5.
Kevin Haverding. The man in the middle. Hobie Brenner, the tight end. In the backfield, Hilliard, Buford Jordan, the fullback. Eric Martin and Lonzel Hill are the wide receivers. Brett Perriman has replaced Hill right now on 2nd down and 5 on the 7th. Hilliard again, and he dives inside the 5-yard line.
Art Still made the
That'll
stop.
bring up 3rd down. Art Still makes the tackle. Veteran teams with Bruce Smith, great pass rusher. Fred Smerlas, the veteran nose tackle for the Bills. The linebacker is Scott Radisick playing for Cornelius Bennett, Shane Conlon, Ray Bentley, and Darrell Talley. And in the secondary, Kirby Jackson and Nate Odoms are the cornerbacks. Leonard Smith and Mark Kelso are the safeties. On 3rd and 2, the ball at the 3, double tight end with John Tice in the game for the Saints. Fake pitch to Hilliard. Forcade will flip it to a wide open Hobie Brenner or John Tice, and a touchdown for the Saints. But there's a penalty marker down.
For the New Orleans touchdown. There's a flag.
And it apparently is against New Orleans, and that'll nullify the score. Referee today is Dick Jorgensen. And we'll have a push-off, pass interference against the offense.
Some type of illegal pick down here. Very common to have this called on the goal line. One way to get a tight end as free in the end zone as Tice was that time is to pick him with your outside receivers.
Interference, number 84, offense, 10 yards.
Very costly penalty on Eric Martin, the wide receiver. A 10-yard penalty will bring up 3rd down and 12 with the ball on the 13-yard line.
That would have been a Cinderella start for John Forcade, his first pass going for a touchdown.
Bills have allowed only 3 scores following the last 10 turnovers, so their defense has been awfully tough indeed.
Very good nickel situations as they are right now.
3 tight ends, including Greg Scales, Tice, and Brenner for the Saints. Forcade, with tough footing, fires up the middle to Tice. Touchdown, New Orleans, and they made it count that time, and there are no flags down.
Oh, there's a happy quarterback. John Forcade did an excellent job of waiting for Tice to get open, and then Tice made the tough catch in traffic on the goal line. A little play-action pass here, as this is what the Saints want to do. They want to move John Forcade around a little bit where he feels comfortable. Watch the great protection, and then the nice catch by Tice as he gets leveled just inside the goal line.
You think this guy was happy in his first start since '87?
Well, he's thrown 2 passes today. Both of them ended up in the end zone. Not bad.
Morton Anderson, who has missed just 1 conversion, holding his Forcade, and he bobbles the snap. Not much Anderson can do, and he'll have to settle for 6 points.
You know what he should have done is he should have drop kicked it right there. Instead of trying to run with it or pass it, just drop kick it through the uprights. It would have counted.
No extra point. New Orleans.
I'm sure they practiced that on Friday down in New Orleans.
I bet they do next week.
Since the replacement games in '87, throws the touchdown pass 11 yards to Tice, and it's 6-0 Saints. Fine start for the new quarterback of New Orleans. A brief scoring drive, just 11 yards. And it was all set up on the fumble by recovery by Pat Swilling.
The interception, the ball deflected off the shoulder pad of McKellar right into Swilling's hands, and he took it down to the 11. The one thing we're going to see today is a team that has the wind at their back will be able to pass for 2 reasons. Obviously, the wind is at their back, but the pass rush is going to be almost negligent because of the poor footing for the defensive linemen in this dusting of snow.
The ball is blown off the tee again by the wind. And, of course, the Bills went on offense first with the wind in their face.
Yeah, I think that may come back to haunt them because, or at least they may feel, Marv Levy must feel that, hey, listen, we have this wind almost every Sunday here in western New York. Not going to be a factor, but we've seen it already is.
Milton Mack has to hold for Anderson as he kicks off. Ronnie Harmon and Don Beebe back there, and it's Beebe with great speed, runs it out and gets it out to the 30-yard line and beyond, where Craig Hayward makes the tackle. So Kelly, who threw his 12th interception of the season, will bring out the Bills again on the 31-yard line. Tough game for Jim Kelly last week. And as you heard on the NFL Today, had some comments about what he thought was a predictable offense run by the Bills. Of course, they got to where they are with the offense they had. Considerable shifting going on by the Bills. First down, Thurman Thomas gets a couple. Wayne Martin, the rookie, makes the stop. Thomas leads the AFC in total yards, having a brilliant season for the Bills.
You know, and getting back to what Kelly said about being less predictable, he's really going to have a tough argument as far as when he goes to the coaches and say, let's open this up, because all they are is the #1 team in total offense in the AFC. Andre Reed's the #1 receiver, Thomas the #1 runner, and Kelly's the #1 passer, so he's got a tough argument there.
Well, Ted Marchibroda, their offensive coordinator, says when you catch the passes and you get the games and win the games, no one complains. Second down and 7. Thurman Thomas slips, loses his footing. So you can see that even in weather like this, it's not going to be easy just to run the ball. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 8, a loss of a yard.
Well, and the thing that Thomas does very well, as does Dalton Hilliard, is they're very good at cutting back against the grain. Well, today there's not much grain out there, a whole bunch of snow. They're going to have difficulty all day long trying to cut back. They're going to just have to outrun people to the corners.
Marv Levy, who led the team to a 12-4 record a year ago, 8-5 right now. 3rd down and 8. 4 wide receivers in there out of the shotgun. And Frank Wright. And the pass is complete to Andre Reed. Jim Kelly completes the pass. Brett Maxey on the stop.
Kelly did a nice job of taking that free play. Swilling was way offsides.
Offside, number 56, defense,
It'll be a first down.
This is Swilling, number 56. He and all his buddies are offsides. Ricky Jackson on the other side. But here's the reception here now for Andre Reed. He has the first down. Kelly, smart quarterback, going through with the play, knowing that he had a free down to work with.
Swilling already with an interception, his first of the year, leads the team in sacks. One of the leaders in the NFL. It'll be 1st and 10 now for the Bills on their 43-yard line. Thurman Thomas with his best game. Gets close to midfield. Stopped at the 49-yard line of the Bills by Jim Wilkes and Dave Waymer. Saints using Wayne Martin, their rookie, who has not played all that much, highly touted pass rusher in the college ranks. There's Martin. It'll be 2nd down and 4, just short of midfield. Quick toss is thrown over the head of James Lofton. Lofton also lost his footing, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
Lofton from Stanford going against another Stanford grad, Toy Cook, out there, and that ball was well overthrown by Kelly. It appeared that it slipped out of his hand, but I believe that if there's any quarterback in the NFL that can handle this wind because he has a strong arm, it's this fella right here, Jim Kelly.
I know you would have loved to have played in this weather in your career.
I like watching these on television.
Ronnie Harmon, the running back, on 3rd down and 4. And Kelly's pass is complete to Thurman Thomas out of the backfield, and that'll be a first down and a gain of 15 yards into Saints territory.
The pass protection should be pretty good all day long for the quarterbacks. Very difficult for these defensive linemen to get any traction to get going up the field. What happens here is that you've got these great big offensive linemen that can just take a couple of steps back. They weigh so much, they're so strong, that speed is no longer the factor. It's pure brute strength.
And a first down on the Saint 36. New Orleans leading 6-0. Here's Thurman Thomas off of left tackle. Brings the ball to the 34-yard line. Vaughn Johnson making the tackle.
And talking about pure brute strength and a lot of weight, here's Pat Swilling, number 56, fighting off the block of big Larry Kinnebrew, who's like a pulling guard in the backfield. Goes about 265 pounds. That's a mismatch for the Bills there.
Saints #1 in the NFL against the rush. Against the Bills, the second best rushing team in the league. Something's got to give. Second down and 7. Thurman Thomas breaks the tackle and is going to be shy by about 5 yards or so. Jim Wilkes, the nose man, makes the stop on Thomas.
Number 69 is Will Wolford working on Swilling this time, and Kinnebrew. Just enough of a seam for Thomas to get through, but nice pursuit by Wilkes as he comes down the line of scrimmage.
Saints taking advantage of a Bills turnover, an interception deflected from McKellar into the hands of Swilling, setting up the only score thus far. Third down and 4 at the 30 of New Orleans. Kelly with a fake, chased by Ricky Jackson, fumbles, and the Saints have recovered again. James Geathers makes the fumble recovery. And Ricky Jackson is celebrating Christmas early, and I think it was Jackson who caused the fumble with the tackle.
The little boy and Ricky Jackson, but how many times have we seen this year where a linebacker comes through, chases a quarterback or a running back down from behind, and then swipes the ball out of their hand with his right hand like a karate chop, and that ball's on the ground, and Geathers has it. The Saints got 2 turnovers.
Here's a team that plays in a dome, and they look like they can handle this weather better than Buffalo so far. Is that thing alive or not?
No, it's cold.
Saints following the fumble by Kelly and the recovery of a first down on their 33-yard line. Buford Jordan hit and gets maybe a yard, that's all, and the Bills trying to strip the ball away from Jordan. Bentley on the tackle for Buffalo.
Well, they say you should play this game for fun. This is Ricky Jackson on his second forced fumble of the year, sliding into second with a pop-up slide, and that really does look like fun.
Better watch out for the hidden ball trick. 2 turnovers by Buffalo. Leon Seals comes in with a 4-man defensive line on 2nd and 9. Dalton Hilliard gets by 1 defender, but Leon Seals almost drove him to Syracuse, and it was Ray Bentley who was the first man to miss him, but Seals made sure, and a loss on the play.
You know, we talk a lot about the Saints linebackers. Well, this crew here, the Buffalo Bills, they can play some defense with some linebackers as well. Bentley is the first to miss, but he sets him up for Seals, and Seals does a nice job there of just throwing him to the ground and not taking him all the way back where he might have picked up a personal foul.
Well, they mark the forward progress back at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 9 at the 34. Craig Hayward is in as the 1 running back out of the shotgun. Forcade's pass, and I believe it's caught by Brett Perriman, and a fine catch and a gain of 15 yards. And where did Perriman play college ball? Well, the University of Miami, of course.
And I'm sure he didn't see a whole lot of these days down there, but Forcade's very impressive so far. This is his 3rd pass, and it may wobble a little bit, but it is on the mark. And Perriman did a nice job of adjusting to it, and the Saints don't appear to be bothered at all by these weather conditions.
6 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. 6-0 Saints. They have the ball on a first down at midfield. Hilliard loses the ball, and Forcade. Now the Bills may have taken it away, from Forcade. A lot of pointing going on. We'll wait for the men in the striped shirts. And the Saints recover.
It'll be tough hanging on to the ball all day long. Dalton Hilliard will get it punched out as he stood up at the line of scrimmage here. Art Still is one of the guys in here, but Forcade gets this ball, and then he gets drilled by Bentley and really does a nice job of hanging on to the ball. Watch Bentley come in and zero in on him. And that ball is free for a second, but Forcade was aware of where it was and got the recovery.
Loss on the play, 2nd down and 14. Eric Martin in motion. Forcade flips it to Hilliard. Easily gets by one defender, and a big gain for Hilliard. He may go all the way. Touchdown Saints. 54 yards. And for Dalton Hilliard, that is his 16th touchdown of the year, an NFL leader.
Well, the key to any great running back is his balance, and Dalton Hilliard has better balance than most. Low center of gravity, and watch this one move here on Smith. He's done, and now it's just pure speed. Gets a great block from Eric Martin there on Kelso, and then Dalton Hilliard's in the end zone.
Now let's see what happens with the adventure of Morton Anderson, as Dalton Hilliard with his 16th touchdown combined this year. Forcade will hold. They missed the first time around, but not this time, and Anderson's kick is good. And right now, the Bills, who need the win in the race against Miami and the rest in the AFC East, find themselves trailing the Saints 13-0. And a touchdown for Dalton Hilliard, 54 yards. Pass, mostly run, and now with his 16th touchdown has taken the lead over Jerry Rice of the 49ers. You see Thurman Thomas of Buffalo 5 behind him, but Hilliard leads the league right now. Morton Anderson will be kicking off. Ronnie Harmon and Don Beebe ready to return the kick. It's a short kick, and it's picked up by Beebe. Trying to turn the corner, and he's not going to be able to do it. Robert Massey is there to make the tackle for the Saints. I think they went to the North Pole to practice for this game, New Orleans. They look like they're really acclimated to this weather.
Well, I tell you one thing is that their quarterback, John Forcade, is taking full advantage of his opportunity. He's thrown 3 passes, completed all 3, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns, and remember, he had 1 called back. Well, that's a hot hand on a cold day.
People in New Orleans will be saying, where's he been? Thurman Thomas gets decent yardage on 1st down from the 25. Atkins and Geathers on the tackle. So thus far in a game dominated by the weather, 2 Buffalo turnovers have resulted in 2 Saints touchdowns. Interception by Pat Swilling and a fumble recovery, and Forcade got the yardage. And 2 TD passes. Now let's see what Kelly does to respond. It'll be 2nd down and 6 on the Bills' 29. They go to Thomas, and Thurman Thomas
carried again.
Close to 1st down yardage.
Made the start.
James Geathers makes the tackle for New Orleans.
Again at 3, it's 3rd and 1.
Dallas and Philadelphia, no score in the first quarter. Minnesota, front of Atlanta, 7-0. You know, they're tied with Green Bay for the lead in the NFC Central. Packers and Chiefs, no score. It'll be 3rd down and 2 for the Bills. Great tight ends. Pete Metzelaars joined by Keith McKellar and Butch Rawls. Thurman Thomas hit. Let's see where they spot the ball. They inch closer to 1st down yardage, and it may depend on where they spot it.
We're going to have a new meaning for the word unpiling today.
That's right.
We have bodies and snow and everything.
We're going to have a measurement to see whether the Bills have the necessary yardage for the 1st down. You know, it's amazing that when they talk about a conservative and predictable offense, where you have the leader in rushing, passing, and receiving. I guess they got to be throwing the ball sometime.
Well, and they must be doing something right. But Jim Kelly, his roots go all the way back to a very wide open style of play at the University of Miami, and of course he had a fabulous career in the USFL. And they're going to come up just a little bit short here. So Kelly, he likes to throw the ball. A great arm. I'm not so sure he likes the way things are going, though, so far this afternoon.
He told us yesterday that if he doesn't get the play quick enough from the sidelines, he's going to audible into a pass, which is what he wants to do maybe on every down.
Spoken like a true quarterback. You can get anybody to hand the ball off.
You even did that once in a while.
Just when I was tired.
Bobby Morris goes back, and John Kidd will come in to punt. They're short of a first down by inches. It is very difficult to find the exact yard markers out here with the snow covering the field, and they have a clearing. Top priority would be the goal line and the sideline area. Here's John Kidd. He's a good bad weather kicker.
He better be.
That means he kicks a lot of end over end. Morris is going to let it go, and it's a good kick for the Bills, and it will die right around the 20-yard line. In fact, on the 20. 46-yard kick, maybe. Everything is a maybe today with the snow on the field. We'll take a timeout. From Rich Stadium in Orchard Park, New York, weather and the snow very much of a story here, as the Saints have taken advantage of 2 Buffalo turnovers to move in front of the division-leading Bills 13-0. These fans want something to cheer about, and they try to clear off the sidelines and the goal lines, I notice, more than any other part of the field, Dan.
And the 4 players are out there trying to dig footholds for themselves in the middle of the field.
Forcade on 1st and 10 on the 20 will face a 4-man front. Dalton Hilliard, who has scored a touchdown, tries to break away from a Mark Tyke, who had grabbed the hold of his jersey, and Darryl Talley made the tackle after a gain of 1.
They're the goal lines. This will make it easy for the replay officials. The trouble is for the players to get all the way down there where they get some good footing. As you can see, it's turning into sort of a frozen pond.
2nd down and 9. Craig Hayward joins the backfield. Dalton Hilliard gets knocked back. I think his forward motion should be at about the 25-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Saints. Mark Pike makes the tackle. Thus far, the Bills have used all 6 of their defensive linemen. They started with Still, Smerlis, and Bruce Smith, but we have already seen Seals, Jeff Wright, and Mark Pike in the game.
And we also have seen that Craig Hayward is in the game, and I would expect to see him quite a bit today. He is a big fella. He's a fullback type. This is definitely fullback type of weather.
Shoulder pad leaking out of the jersey of Dalton Hilliard has been a busy man. 3rd down and 5. Play fake for Cade's pass, nearly intercepted by Kirby Jackson. And the pass was intended for Kobe Brenner, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, Forcade gets lucky here because this should have been an intercepted pass. The fake to Hilliard's not going to bother anybody on 3rd and 7. This ball goes right through the hands of Kirby Jackson. Questionable whether Hayward would have made the catch because there are a couple other Bills on their way.
Tommy Barnhart will be kicking. Mickey Sutton.
The 1 shy out there trying to get a guy on before this 45-second clock goes down.
They got him on in time. Barnhart's kick away from Sutton. And penalty markers are down. And Sutton is out of bounds back at the 30-yard line. That kick went 43 yards, but there's a penalty, and the referee, Dick Jorgensen, will explain it to us. Bills losing to Seattle Monday night. It was their first loss of the year when the defense gave up 20 or less points. Penalty will be against New Orleans. They'll be kicking this again.
Some type of illegal procedure. I would guess that the man did not
Illegal
report.
formation. Number 28 offense played an ineligible position and did not
You're right.
report his change of position. The penalty is declined. First up.
They declined the penalty, and the Saints went back.
Why would they decline a 43-yard punt? Why wouldn't they make them kick it over? There's so many things that can go wrong today. We've already seen a bad snap on an extra point. Let's put some more pressure on the center of the Saints. Make him throw another strike back to the punter. The guy's got to catch the ball, and he's got to kick it. 43 yards is fantastic.
And Barnhart, or any kicker, could lose his footing, and it could be real disaster. So this is a gift for the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, it really is. On a day like today, I think that's a big mistake on Marv Levy's part.
The Bills will begin from their 32-yard line as the skies begin to brighten just a bit. 13-0 with 2:29 remaining in the first quarter. The Saints lead. Thurman Thomas is wide out to the left. And on first down, Larry Kinnebrew, the bruising fullback, busted out beyond the 35-yard line, and the tackle is made by the free safety, Dave Waymer.
Kinnebrew shouldn't get the ball quite a bit this afternoon. With his heft, and as you can see, he's not doing a bad job for a guy that primarily is used in short yardage situations, almost a 4-yard average.
And that did not go unnoticed among the Saints linebackers. They were impressed with that figure. Second down and 4. On a delay, Thurman Thomas looking for room. And he may have enough for the first down beyond the 40-yard line. Tackle is made by Pat Swilling.
The biggest problem these backs and everybody really is going to have today is traction. Watch how Thomas starts off kind of like Walter Payton there, picking his feet up very gingerly and then seeing the hole and getting through it and getting close to the first down. Looked a little bit like Walter Payton there with that little hippity-hop step.
Well, Payton did that on dry turf most of the time.
Who are those guys?
Your friendly reporters. Undercover, but a little chilly nonetheless. On 3rd and 1, 3 tight ends in there for the Bills. Kinnebrew gets the call, and the Saints may have knocked him back. It'll all be on the spot. No, it is a first down at the forward progress.
Well, I think you called it right, Dick. The Saints gave Kinnebrew the first down. Watch how the linebackers come in here and then push Kinnebrew over the yardstick there, just enough for the first down. Swilling appears to be the guy that's going to give him a great assist here. Just enough.
Winding down to a minute remaining. Now Thomas lines up to the top of the picture. Running back to the receiver. Again, Kinnebrew up the middle trying to move the pile, and he does to the tune of about 3 yards. That'll bring up second down, so they're moving Thomas away and letting Kinnebrew do it all himself, and having a defender having to watch Thurman Thomas outside as a receiver.
It's a very conservative attack so far, but under these conditions, it's a good idea. We've already seen an interception on a pretty good throw by Kelly that bounced off the tight end's shoulder pad. So this kind of attack, giving the ball to Kinnebrew behind that offensive line, is a good idea.
Second down and 6. This may be the last play of the first quarter. Ball at the 46 of the Bills. Kelly's pass is complete to Pete Metzelaars, and the tight end gets into Saints territory for a 12-yard gain and a first down as the clock runs out in the first quarter. So the chilled fans here at Rich Stadium have something to cheer about for a change. And after the first quarter of play, it's the Saints 13, the Bills nothing.